Welcome back to the news at 10. One critical aspect that Nigerians yearned development for in 2016 was in the area of social infrastructure. According to the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nigeria's infrastructure deficit as of last year hit 5.91 trillion naira, that's 25% of the GDP. Our correspondent Loretta Chogo x-rays the outlook of particularly road networks across the country in the year ended.
Nigerians continue to yearn for improved social infrastructure, which include good road networks across the 6 geopolitical zones to ease trades and commerce, better school infrastructure, equipped healthcare facilities, potable water, housing, and the worst of all, electricity, which has hampered most businesses, especially small-scale ventures, leaving many homes in hunger. These are federal roads in the southeast. Some of the worst include Owerri-Okigwe Road, Onitsha-Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway, Aba-Ikorekpene-Uyo Expressway, Owerri-Port Harcourt Road, Owerri-Mbise-Umuahia Federal Road, among others.
In just a few months, when government went back to its job of maintaining highways, we saw the difference. So if we do this for another 1 year, and mind you, this government is still implementing its first full budget. We haven't finished our first full budget. Whatever time it may have been that we have been in government, we have just gone halfway of our first full budget, and you are beginning to see signs.
After so many years of the poor state of the Calabar-Ikorekpene-Aba Road in Cross River State, south of the country, the federal government comes to the rescue through the NDDC. This is just one out of the many others begging for attention in the region. Nnamdi Azikiwe Highway in Igabi local government area, Kaduna-Zaria Road and Kaduna-Abuja Highway continue to hamper free inter- and intra-state transportation.
Our tires will be broken, will be busting anyhow. So we are pleading to the government to come and do something for this road, please.
The long-abandoned Lagos-Ibadan Expressway received attention in the year ended. The Lagos-Ogun boundary of the road had to be shut to construction work. This birthed a harrowing effect of daily traffic congestion. In 2016, the budget of change of 6.06 trillion naira allocated 1.75 trillion naira for capital expenditure. As at October 2016, 753 billion naira was released for capital expenditure. In the 2017 budget proposal before the National Assembly, the capital expenditure gulps 2.24 trillion, or 30.7% of the total budget. Loretta Chogo, Channels Television News.
Let's take a further look at the infrastructure deficits and the issue of funding to service the sector. I'm joined on the news at 10 now by the CEO, Infrastructure Bank PLC, Mr. Adekunle Oyinloye. He joins us from our Abuja studios. It's great to have you join us on the news at 10.
It's a pleasure having you and having me around today.
Happy New Year to you too. Now, from the report, the state of the roads across the country are all very appalling, and lack of funding is said to be the major problem. How can we ensure that funds are provided to service our infrastructure, especially roads?
Thank you very much. Infrastructure is very capital intensive. And as you could see, because of the state of despair in which most of the infrastructure assets are, from the airports to road, to electricity, to schools, to hospitals, etc., etc. Funding them can never, and as currently we do have the situation in Nigeria, can never be done with treasury money alone. We need to encourage investors so that private capital can join forces with government so that we can actualize our dream on infrastructure.
In 2016, the budget for capital expenditure was 1.75 trillion naira, as we saw in the report. 753 billion naira was spent. As a financial expert, what is the level of funding that we should have for our roads to be motorable all year round?
It's not just the road, because infrastructure is not just road. Road appeal to an ordinary person because that's what we feel as a first call. It's been quite documented, even both by the studies conducted by government. We need on the average about $25 billion US for us to be meeting our infrastructure need. And that is from electricity to roads to airport to seaport, you know, to so many things that has been quite documented. And if you go to even the NIP document, that is the National Integrated Infrastructure Master Plan, which was a 30-year plan, we were supposed to be putting together about 3 trillion US dollars to meet our infrastructure need. Is a requirement, a capital spend of about 25 billion US dollar that is required. So all the amount, all the figures that you have just mentioned now will just be a scratch, you know, on the surface of our infrastructure development gap. So that's actually the truth.
Let's move away from roads now. Another major challenge, of course, was housing. Do you think the government's made much progress in 2016?
In 2016, a lot of policy directions were set, both at the ministry level, that is Ministry of Housing, Power Works and Housing. And I also have noted some development and initiative at the level of the Federal Ministry of Finance, you know, trying to create funding, you know, making funding available for housing. But we need to ask ourselves, housing has two faces. There is a demand and there is a supply. Government tends to think that supply is actually the problem and to try to build houses. But how many houses has government even built in the last even 16 years since we have gone into democracy? It's been quite appalling, given the fact that we need about 16 or 17 million housing units in Nigeria. The truth is that we need to re-examine what exactly is the problem in housing, because that's another area that can add a lot to our current GDP level. Now, the issue is measuring, identifying, and strategizing very correctly. We're not doing that on housing yet, but I know that there have been some intention, but I think a more robust approach to housing development, particularly on the mortgage side, and unlocking the wealth that there is in housing, I think that might be what we need to do to increase the level of stock of houses that we need in Nigeria.
CEO, Infrastructure Bank PLC, Mr. Adekunle Oyinlere, thank you so much for joining us on the News at 10. In the meantime, a mega city status is usually conferred on a city as a result of population growth and availability of infrastructure. Lagos, being Nigeria's and one of Africa's topmost commercial nerve centers, continues to attract investors from far and wide. Have we now attained a model megacity status? What should be done to be on the same pedestal with Johannesburg in South Africa and New York in the United States, among others? Here's an extra report on the Lagos megacity project.
Lagos, by its population, falls within the category of a megacity, a metropolitan area with a total population in excess of 10 million people. The pursuit of Lagos as a model megacity comes with clear challenges: the lack of proper and sufficient infrastructure and public service to support the growing population, crime and terrorism, homelessness, traffic congestion, environmental degradation, air pollution, and urban sprawl. Since his emergence as governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode has been running his administration on a tripod of security, infrastructure development, and job creation. In the last 1 year, the Lagos State government has been building to expand the available infrastructure to accommodate the rising population.
What we are doing from 1999 to date is to expand the existing road infrastructure to accommodate that growth, okay, and also build new ones in anticipation of future growth.
But the people have something to worry about: security challenges, lack of potable water and electricity.
There is light, but at times they took the light, but at times there is light, but for now we don't use lights here.
If the government actually targets empowering the people, then they would have the choice of not going into vices, and then we'd have security being not so much of a problem that we have it as today.
Most megacities have what we call ring road access, where you can drive around the city without having much hitches, in terms of traffic. I believe that if we continue with this pace, within the next 10 years, we should be quite happy to say, yes, Lagos is almost attaining that megacity status.
Most of the people presently running Lagos State may not be there to implement the megacity projects in 10 years' time, as already suggested. What this then suggests is that the Lagos State Development Plan should be pursued assiduously in order to accomplish the desired model of a megacity.